So I think what makes the biggest difference is how you feel. So if on your wedding day you're feeling relaxed and happy, then your photos are going to be gorgeously natural and really capture those emotions. So I think it's a bit about planning in advance. So maybe delegating some wedding tasks so you're not stressed, trying to sort things out yourself on the day of the wedding. And also making sure that you've got a photographer who you trust. So who you've spoken to or interacted with, had a shoot with beforehand, so that you can feel really confident that they get you, that you feel relaxed and comfortable with them, and then that's going to really shine through in your pictures. I'd say almost everyone I photograph will say, oh, I don't photograph so well, or I'm a bit anxious in front of the camera, because it's not something that most people do, being photographed by a professional photographer. So firstly, I would say, don't worry, this is really common. I think you can think about which type of photographer is going to make you feel most comfortable. Are you going to want to be completely posed in every way, in which case you might want someone with a more kind of dramatic editorial type style? Or if you don't want any posing at all, maybe you want someone who's more reportage style, just catching things as they happen. I fall somewhere in between, so I'm kind of a natural storytelling photographer. I'll give kind of light prompts and help you get into kind of beautiful light, gorgeous backgrounds, but without kind of making it feel too stiff or overly posed. So for a lot of couples, that's what will help them feel more relaxed and more comfortable on the day. I think also, again, knowing your photographer, talking to them about what you're worried about, or if there's anything that's making you feel particularly stressed, getting to know them, trusting them will also mean that you'll be more relaxed on the day. So I'm kind of between the kind of very, very heavily posed, every finger in place style, and a completely natural, no posing at all, sort of paparazzi approach. So this sort of natural storytelling approach means that I will give you little prompts. So I might ask you to walk together, snuggle up as if it's cold, step a little closer together than you might normally, because even small gaps between you in photos can look slightly awkward. And to breathe, which is always my biggest tip. For some reason, people tend to hold their breath when you try and take their photograph. So as soon as the camera goes up, people hold their breath, which naturally makes their shoulders a bit stiffer and it makes the pose look a bit stiffer. So reminding you to breathe, which often makes you laugh anyway, is a nice way of kind of keeping things natural and making sure that you've got these gorgeously natural pictures that actually look like you. So I'm a big advocate for planning in advance so that everything can run smoothly and you can just relax and forget about things on the actual day. So I would recommend making a wedding timeline, and I would generally try and put in about 15 to 20 minutes for portraits at some point after the ceremony, and perhaps 10 to 15 minutes in the hour before sunset. If the weather and the light behave, that's when you can get that really gorgeous golden light, which I think is really magical for wedding photos. Also, group photos. If you're planning to have group photos, I will always go through those and kind of order them for you so that you're moving people in and out as little as possible, and that just helps it run super smoothly so that it takes as little time as possible, and then you're able to get back to your guests while still capturing those group family shots that can be so important. I think there's a couple of things. I think sometimes couples can plan too little or not share the plans with the photographer. So if you've got some amazing surprises planned, by all means, keep them a secret from all your guests and from your other half, but do tell your photographer so they can be ready to capture it and it doesn't get missed. And as I say, having some kind of structure, some kind of timeline just helps everything to go smoothly on the day. At the other extreme, if you're giving a photographer a list of every single shot that you want taken, so shoes, rings, flowers, every single thing throughout the whole day, your photographer is going to be so focused on trying to checking off that list that they're going to miss the natural moments and what's happening. It's finding that balance of having some structure and a photographer that you trust who can capture the story and kind of really show all the important parts of your day. I think the other thing is that often the value of wedding photos is not so appreciated until after. So I often see photos I've taken at weddings coming up on social media and things when someone has passed away, and suddenly that moment has become such an important and treasured memory, where there's a really beautiful photo of yourself with someone who's no longer there. I think you can look back on it and it will bring back all those emotions that you felt during the day. You'll get to see bits that you didn't see on the day. So maybe your other half getting ready if you did that separately, or guests having fun whilst you were off doing something else, or different reactions that you can't take in everybody's reaction to you walking down the aisle, or everyone's reaction through the speeches. So actually it gives you a glimpse of bits of the day that you missed and brings back the feelings that you had. And I think, even kind of for generations to come, wedding photos are something that are really treasured and looked back on. And that's, something that's not even just your lifetime, but these photos are going to be treasured forever.